Hello, welcome to this DVD that I've created. Now, in this DVD will be all the best highlights of all of the performance I've had on this livestream project of mine. Now, the whole point of this DVD is not to show how great these people are, even though they are great people. It's more about the progression from where I've come from and where I'm at now. And at the start of the DVD, I'll show you the tests, showing where I went from being the first test I did to the very last live stream that I've done. It was a real wild ride, and it was such a pleasure to go through this and experience this. This is my final submission, and I hope you enjoy it. It's going to be a cool video, hopefully. So, this is the first proper live stream test that I did. This is with 3 webcams. I actually started off with 1 and then I bought 2 more. So it was 3 webcams and a camcorder, which I was able to find out a way to connect it to the computer. This song has no mixing at all whatsoever. All I did was use the gain for levels, and that was it. I could have done a lot more, but this is where I started, and it's nice to see where I started and the progression that I've made since then. Now, this song is the last of the tests, but hopefully it is notable that quite a lot of progression is made, even though I'm still using crude equipment and crude mixing in that sense. Even though the mix sounds a lot better and I'm actually doing proper mixing on this, let's not forget where it'll be in a few more minutes as we start watching. I'll stop talking now, don't worry.
I'm afraid to love, because love escapes my heart too often. And I'm afraid to care, 'cause if I cared, my heart would tear wide open. 'Cause I've hurt so many hearts, foolish love and foolish care that only left me with more scars. And I've run away so long from anyone who thought love and care aren't difficult things at all. I'm sorry, maybe this is who I am. I'm sorry, if you leave me here, I understand. I'm sorry, maybe this is who I am. I'm sorry, if you leave me here, I understand. and I'm afraid to believe, because I can't trust what you were saying. And I'm afraid to achieve, because I can't find satisfaction, 'cause I've hurt so many hearts with foolish faith and foolish doubt that only left me with more scars. And I've run away so long from anyone who's thought faith and doubt on difficult things at all. And I'm sorry, maybe this is who I am. I'm sorry, if you leave me here I understand. I'm sorry, maybe this is who I am. I'm sorry, if you leave me here I understand. What I can't understand is why I see you with an outstretched hand. You're telling me to rise above it. Maybe I could get to see your plan if I got my head out of the sand. You're telling me to rise above it, but I'm sorry. I'm still afraid to love, and I'm scared to face the wrong direction. Still afraid to love, but love, oh love, is chasing after me.
You save me and you heal me. You lift me up when I fall down. You always answer when I call. I know that you will always love me even if I let you down. You always love me through it all. Your love is wider than any ocean, deeper than the deepest sea. Your love goes on and on forever. Your love is higher than the heavens. It reaches through eternity. Your love, it never fails, no, never. Your love. Hear my cries for mercy. You turn my sorrow into a song. You turn my night into your day. You lift my head and turn my morning into dancing. Oh, with joy you take all my sins away. Your love is wider than any ocean, deeper than the deepest sea. Your love goes on and on forever. Your love is higher than the heavens. It reaches through eternity. Your love, it never fails, no, never. Your love is wider, is deeper, is higher. You lift my head and turn my morning into dancing. Oh, with joy, you take all my sins away. Your love is wider than any ocean, deeper than the deepest sea. Your love goes on and on forever. Your love is higher than the heavens. It reaches through eternity. Your love, it never fails, no, never. Your love is wider than any ocean, deeper than the deepest sea. Your love goes on and on forever. Your love is higher than the heavens. It reaches to eternity. Your love, it never fails, no, never. Your love, your love, your love.
I can hardly hear what you're saying when the storm blows so hard. As we look out from our house to the sea, lights on ships are blinking and the hulls roll in the waves. And I ask myself whether this could be the day. Terrible confusion comes right over me. Did I hear what I really heard? Trouble is with me and you, we live life through a glass. We began to see that fantasy is real. La 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 la, la 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 la. Wake me up in the morning, we can talk it through. La 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 la, la 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 la. Don't let the storm, don't let it wreck us too. Don't let the storm, ooh, wreck us too. Our nights with the bottle start fun and go so well. We laugh and love like crazy, you and me. Later accusations, the insults and the pain. While the gales blow, we are tested again. La 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 la, la 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 la. Wake me up in the morning, we can talk it through. La 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 la, la 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 la. Don't let the storm, don't let it wreck us too. Don't let the storm, ooh, wreck us too. Over time, built up anger grows and grows, day by day. The boiling surf chases history away, away, away. We live on a violent wave, who knows how long for. I guess the time will come and crashes down. Together, me and you, yeah, we are poison now. There's a way it can be mended, we don't know how. La 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 la, la us too.
Climbing up on Salisbury Hill, I could see the city lights. Wind was blowing, time stood still. Eagle flew out of the night. Here was something to observe. Caving close, I heard a voice, standing, stretching every nerve. I had to listen, had no choice. Did not believe the information. I just had to trust imagination. My heart going boom, boom, boom. So he said, grab your things, I've come to take you home. To keep in silence, I resigned. My friends would think I was a nun, turning water into wine. Open doors would soon be shut. So I went from day to day. Thought my life was in a rut, till I thought of what I'd say, which connection I should cut. I was feeling part of the scenery. I walked right out of the machinery. My heart going boom, boom, boom. Hey, he said, grab your things, I've come to take you home. When illusions spin her net, I'm never where I wanna be. Liberty she pirouette. When I think that I am free, watch my empty silhouette, who close her eyes but still can see. No one taught them etiquette, so I will show another me. Today I don't need a replacement. I'll show them what the smile on my face meant. My heart going boom, boom, boom. Hey, I said, you can keep my things, they've come to take me home. Yeah, back home. Then hey, 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 I'll soon be home. Then hey, 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 I'll soon be home. Then hey, 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 I'll soon be home. Then hey, 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 I'll soon be home.
I'm the one that can't bite my tongue unless it's already too late. And even then, I never think before I speak. I turn into the person I hate. My daddy once told me, do it unless you're happy. But there's no way you can't escape your fate. Back up, give me my space. You can throw all your anger, you escape now. I'd love to say it was my pleasure, but you know I'm not one to lie. This has been going on forever. Now I'm looking you in the eye. Now I don't know where this ball has come from. Now I suddenly realize, but I'll make the endless climb of this bottomless pit to survive. Back up, give me my space. You can throw all your anger, you will never escape. Back up, but don't walk away. I'm not finished with you yet. You will never escape now. Back up, give me my space. You can throw all your anger, but you will never escape now. Back up, but don't walk away. I'm not finished with you yet. You will never escape. Back up, give me my space. You can throw all your anger, you will never escape now. Back up, don't walk away. I'm not finished with you yet. You will never escape now.
Well, hello and welcome to this Facebook live stream coming to you live from the reading room here at the Alex Building, the University of Wales, Trinity St David. Today's broadcast is brought to you courtesy of Di Griff Productions. Di Griffiths is a third-year student studying music technology at the University of Wales, Trinity St David. His website is available to look at online. He's in charge of all the technology. I'm in charge of the music. Somebody there called out my name, turning my scream into a whisper. And you took my hand and you led me home. You said I'd never be alone. What am I really doing here? Where am I gonna find an answer? 'Cause the darkness just keeps rolling in, and I just don't know where to begin. So I just breathe, say your name as I breathe in, call for the comforter to come, to hold me up and make me strong. And I just breathe, say your name as I breathe out, talk about you in my sleep. Well, I'm asking you, my soul to keep. And I just breathe. Maybe the message wasn't clear. Maybe I wasn't really listening. but inside I know I wasn't wrong. But it's just so hard to keep on going, so I just breathe. Say your name as I breathe in. Call for the comforter to come, to hold me up and make me strong. And I just breathe. Say your name as I breathe out. Talk about you in my sleep. Well, I'm asking you, my soul to keep. And I just breathe. Ooh, ooh. Many times I would run away, given half the chance. Somebody said you would open the doors. I'm just praying it'll happen quickly, as the Furies fight to steal my peace. I'm just praying for that sweet release, so I just breathe. Say your name as I breathe out. Talk about you in my sleep. Well, I'm asking you, my soul to keep. I just breathe. I just breathe. So I'm currently on tour. This week on Friday I'll be at the Furnace Theatre in Llanelli, and on Saturday night at the Grand Theatre in Swansea. It's been a good tour so far. Started off the Wales Millennium Centre, then on to Ammanford Miners. Been a lot of fun. Now they do say that a fool learns from his mistakes, but a wise man learns from others. Let me tell you, I've been a fool too long. These are some of the things I wish that I'd known back then. These are some of the things I wish that I'd known back then. If I'd known, I wouldn't have made the same mistakes again and again. These are some of the things I wish that I'd known back then. Sometimes you need to bend, but it doesn't mean giving up ground. There are people we love that we take for granted that won't always be around. You better learn how to love, 'cause if you don't, you will go into cry. Some things in life just never work out. It really doesn't matter how hard you try. These are some of the things I wish that I'd known back then. These are some of the things I wish that I'd known back then. If I'd known, I wouldn't have made the same mistakes again and again. These are some of the things I wish that I'd known back then. Forbidden fruits aren't always sweet, no matter how green looks the grass. Life has many seasons, but you gotta know this too shall pass. In the morning the sun will always rise, no matter how dark is the night. That it's better to be taken for a silent fool than to open your mouth and prove the whole world right. These are some of the things I wish that I'd known back then. These are some of the things I wish that I'd known back then. If I'd known, I wouldn't have made the same mistakes again and again. These are some of the things I wish that I'd known back then. Not all the old folk have the wisdom, but youth is wasted on the young. At the end of the day, you'll find it's always the way. More is ever said than ever really done. These are some of the things I wish that I'd known back then. These are some of the things I wish that I'd known back then. If I'd known, I wouldn't have made the same mistakes again and again. These are some of the things I wish that I'd known back then. Back then. Back then. Thank you very much. So I'm on this tour and it's called An Evening with Mal Pope. Well, this is an afternoon with Mal Pope, isn't it? And, I'm looking back at some of the songs I've written over the last, and it pains me to say the last almost 50 years. Started writing songs when I was about 7 years old, and I haven't stopped yet. It's great to be here with Di Griff this afternoon. He's at the start of his journey. Interesting family connection. His dad Andrew came to me on work experience when he was still in school as well. Can't wait for the grandchildren to turn up. So I was born in a place called Bryn Hyfryd in Swansea. It's just up the road from here. It was right at the heart of the Industrial Revolution. That was Swansea in the 1700s and the 1800s with the coal and the copper. The view from my parents' bedroom was of Kilvey Hill. In the 60s, when I was growing up, it was completely destroyed. But now if you look at it, well, sometimes you could be mistaken for thinking that it's Switzerland. My grandmother's house is where I was born, in Penvillier Terrace in Swansea. My grandmother was 4 foot tall and 5 foot wide and played the pump harmonium in our little gospel hall. Her name was Mavanwi. She'd lived through 2 world wars and the economic depression of the 30s, and still, she would always talk about the good old days. Life's all about perspective, isn't it? I see the buildings clutter in the skyline, built by miners on a pittance of pay. They work together, never on a Sunday. That was not their way. Now Zoa's empty, Bethel's boarded up, new silos silent TV every day. Except for Tuesdays, the sisters gather, 4 ladies meet to pray. About the golden days. Tell me, doesn't the sun still shine? Tell me, isn't the air still free? And these are golden days, if we still believe. Now my dad's name is Stan. He's 95 years old. He's not as well as he used to be. I mean, in the old days, he could talk for Wales. He was a preacher. I am literally the son of a preacher man. He used to tell me stories of growing up in a place called Pontryd y Fen, the birthplace of Richard Burton and Ivor Emanuel and my dad, Stan Pope. And his father used to work down in Briton Ferry at Lipton's. He was a bacon hand. And as he told me his stories, it didn't seem that much different to the stories I was going through at the time myself. Talked to an old man about his father, waited with his mother for him every day. He worked at Lipton's on the bacon counter, but days just fade away. And I think about my own kids waiting for me as I come home at the end of the day. The smiling faces, nobody's told them what all the papers say. Where are the golden days? Tell me, doesn't the sun still shine? Tell me, isn't the air still free? And these are golden days, if we still believe. So with all the news at the moment, it's hard to keep your chin up. But one day we'll look back at these days and think, hey, they weren't so bad after all. So travel onward with your journey, but just remember, keep your eyes on the sky. When they tell you, don't you believe them? It's never do or die. These can be golden days. Tell me, doesn't the sun still shine? Tell me, isn't the air still free? Tell me, isn't the world still mine? Just like it used to be. And these are golden days, if we still believe.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed that. It was really good fun for me to learn so many new things, meet so many new people, and get so many opportunities out of this. But like all good things, they all have to come to an end. And I'm laying this down right now for a time. I might want to come back to it, but I think this is a good full stop to this project in the way that I've presented it. I don't know what to say other than thank you everyone that helped out. I hope that you have enjoyed watching this, and also I hope you have a good day.
I wanna end this cycle of grieving. You played me for a fool and now I'm reeling. But you gave my life more meaning than I felt before. Get me out of this home, I'm feeling so cold. Your heart took
at all. You reap what you sow when you started this mess, and you were all just finesse. You blinded my eyes with a heart made of ice. It was a ruse and now I'm all bruised, but you gave my life more meaning, and I wanna break this feeling. I wanna end this cycle of grieving. You played me for a fool and now I'm reeling, but you gave my life more meaning than I felt before. I poured out my heart, you drank it up and spat it out. I gave you my love, but that could never be enough. I deserve a life where I can walk without a crutch. I know this won't work again, but I can't escape my love.